The Aggies have a second down and goal from the 18-yard line as we open up the second quarter. They failed to score in the first quarter for the first time all season. Penalties have hurt them here on this drive. Second down for Keaton and company. Looking to throw it. Underneath, catch by Williams, and gets some of that yardage back as he's tackled at the 14-yard line. 4-yard pickup. Otulele on the tackle. Now you got a third and goal. They're knocking on the doorstep before the penalties.
Yeah, and Coach Anderson has to be upset about exactly what happened with these penalties for us. They had 4 penalties for 60 yards, Utah State. That's unheard of for a first quarter. And they're costly penalties because they happen every time they're in a good scoring position.
2 tight ends, 4 receivers set. Third and goal now from the 13. Keaton corner, and it's knocked away. That was Hodge that broke that up. Fine defensive play intended for Austin, and Hodge played that perfectly.
He did play that perfectly. I kind of found it interesting when you have that type of play situation. You might have get inside. Chucky's just a quick 3-step drop, throws that ball out to the corner, but doesn't get it out far enough and allows the DB Sidney Hodge to be able to make that play. Chucky has to put that ball on the outside corner so his receiver has a chance.
So Josh Thompson with his third field goal attempt. This will be a 32-yarder. He's 1 of 2, made one from 20 against Colorado State last week. Missed one that could have won it at Wisconsin from 37. Trying to get the Aggies on the board first, and Thompson's kick is through there. So they wanted the touchdown. They were inside the 5-yard line. They settled for the field goal, and Utah State up 3-0.
And this is where the penalties become costly because that was a 4-point swing. You went from being possibly going up 7-0, now you're only up 3-0 because of the penalty. Your players have to be smarter. They got to understand where they're at on the field, and they got to make sure that they make the right plays at the right time. That was a situation where Chuck Jacobs cost them additional points on the board because he didn't understand where he was, what he was doing. The run was away from him. It wasn't towards his direction. So he was on the right side of the field, the run was to the left side. So that was a block that he didn't need to make.
12 plays, 52 yards, and the field goal. Bobby Houck has to be pleased, though, with his defense. He got a little bit of help via the penalty there, but his team tough here in the early stages against a very good, well-versed, balanced offense from Utah State.
Well, and he can't be any happier than what's going on right now because his defense is playing out of their mind right now, just like they did the first 4 games. These linebackers are flying all over the place, and they're keeping them in games. That's why the offense's job is not to turn the ball over, but to eat up clock and control the game.
Ben Trude to kick it away. This will be returnable. And across the 20 is Sullivan, and he's tackled at the 21-yard line. He's slow getting up as he was hurt on that last play. Tackle made by Paul Payukala, and this is a guy they can ill afford to lose, Jay. He is one of their top receivers.
That was coverage. They came up into him, and two guys hit him at the same time, and that's why he went down.
They'll take a look at Sullivan. We'll take a break. 14-10 to go second quarter. Rebels have the football, trailing 3-0 on the road. Kick return man Marcus Sullivan off on his own power after that last return for UNLV. The Rebels starting this series from the 21-yard line, trailing Utah State 3-0. Nick Sherry has moved the team down the field, has had some drives fizzle. They're going to hand it off this time to Bradley Randall, a little 5'7" running back for a yard or 2. Jake Dowdy on the tackle. Randall, a change of pace guy after Cornette. He's a guy with a little more shiftiness in the backfield.
Think of Darryl Sproles, just a little bit bigger. Hides behind that big offensive line. And as you can see, he was able to crease in there and get a couple yards.
2nd and 8 from the 24. Sherry is not going to wow you with his statistics, trying to avoid mistakes in his freshman season. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Handed off to Randall, has a bit of a seam, and he's up to the 30-yard line. A couple yards shy of the first down. As Tavares McMillan, the inside linebacker on the tackle. 3rd and short coming up. This is where they want to be, as McMillan got to the edge that time.
Right, and Coach Hawk and offensive coordinator Brent Myers, this is their game plan. This is what they talk about. You know, get a couple yards on first down, a couple yards on second down, get yourself to third and manageable. And that's what they do, because now defensively, they can get you both ways. They can run or pass, and you're not sure which one they're going to do.
They have the tight end Phillips split out in a slot to the right side. Single back from the gun, Sherry. Pressure coming. Slant pattern, catch made. First down, Devontae Davis. Davis to the outside. And Will Davis gets him and he runs him out of bounds. Devontae Davis, the sophomore from Galena Park, Texas, comes up with a big play for the Rebels.
That's one of those plays right there. It was effective because the young quarterback, Nick Sherry, saw the blitz coverage coming in, and he got the right call. It was man-to-man, takes his 3 steps, gets the ball out to the side on a slant route. Willie Davis does the wrong thing. You don't go for the ball unless you can get it. I'm sorry, not Willie Davis, but Jamonte Robertson, and that's why that play turned out the way it did.
47-yard pass play, and now on a play fake, Sherry for the end zone. And it is incomplete. 2 penalty flags come in. It was intended for Micah Mataele, and 2 flags come in over there. Will Davis on coverage.
They're going to get defensive face guarding. Will Davis did not turn around to look for the ball. If he did, he would have got a pick. But you can see right here, the play was effective because of the big run. You set him up. They do a couple of Chris direction, a post corner route there by Devontae Davis, and that is one of those plays that UNLV would have loved to got the touchdown, but they're going to get the 15 yards and get themselves closer.
Boy, they're really picking on Will Davis, the senior from Spokane. He's their leading tackler and their top cover guy, but he has had his hands full here in the first half.
Sure has, and these receivers are giving it fits mainly because they're running the ball so effectively. It adjusts how you call your plays defensively.
First and goal from the 7 now. High formation, Randall behind Max Johnson, the fullback. Handoff, Randall, nowhere to go. Jake Dowdy in there. Yes, Brian Sweet also filled the hole, the strong safety, and it's second down.
This defense has the bow up right now. You don't giving up 2 big plays. And in this kind of situation, you have to make sure that you keep them out of the end zone.
Also getting some help defensively that time from A.J. Patai-Li'i, big 300-pound junior. This time Davis and Sullivan split right, bottom part of the screen. They'll run that way. Randall cuts it back, dives over the pile, and he's down to the 3-yard line. Great effort by the little guy to go airborne. McMillan on the tackle.
And what I'm loving about this is Nick Sherry, since the beginning of the game, he's making checks. He's seeing things at the line and getting the offense in the right position. And look at the little guy, Brady Randall, getting up in there, not scared to throw his body around. They know they're going to get 3 off of this possession, but they'd like to try to get 7.
Bradley's dad, Lenny, 11 years, Major League Baseball, 5 of those with the Texas Rangers, comes from great bloodlines. He sets them up now, 3rd down from the 3, 3rd and goal. Sullivan in motion, play fake this time. Open is the fullback, touchdown Rebels. Max Johnson hauls it in, and UNLV's in front.
That is what you call execution from running effectively, setting up the play action pass. And this is what UNLV does so well with their young quarterback, Nick Sherry. Sets it up with the play action to Brady Randall, pulls the defense in. Max Johnson slides out. You can see right here. Sets it up, does a good job with the fake. Max Johnson sails the block out in the flat all alone. As you saw right there, Jake Doherty had the coverage, had no chance getting there because he's trying to come up on the run.
6 plays, 78 yards, the 3-yard touchdown catch from Johnson, and the extra point tacked on from Nolan Cohurst. 7-3 UNLV, and textbook, this is what they want to do. Run it and set up the play action pass. And they did it the way they wanted to do it on that drive. 10:45 to go second quarter. Max Johnson, his first touchdown as a collegiate. Sherry finds him at 7. Bobby Houck, head coach of UNLV, one of his favorite catchphrases is, "Your actions speak so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying." They actually spoke very loudly on that drive. UNLV could easily be 4-0. 3 overtime loss to Minnesota, 3-point loss to NAU, 8-point loss to Washington State at home. They beat Air Force last week. This is a team that looks very much like a winning football team, off to a good start. 7-3 lead here at Utah State. The kickoff into the end zone and a touchback. The Aggies will bring it out to the 25-yard line. That's the first touchdown, Jay, given up by Utah State in the first half this season. It's amazing.
Well, both these defenses are very volatile. They play very aggressive, and you're seeing why. They don't give up a lot of points because they don't usually make too many mistakes. But just like that last drive, if you catch the defense in the right spot, you can create big plays, and that's exactly what UNLV did as they marched down. They kind of got Utah State back on their heels, a little punch drunk, and then knocked them out with that touchdown to finish off that drive.
And Gary Anderson's team, they need to avoid the penalty. That has really crippled them here in the first half. They'll start from the 25-yard line. 5 penalties for 75 yards against the Aggies. They run it with Williams. Breaks to the outside, look out. Williams across the 40, and there's that sprinter speed up to the 43. He turns it into an extra gear. Hassan on the tackle. That's 18 yards.
He has such great vision. He saw the outside linebacker coming. He knew he wasn't going to take that inside. He just took a run outside for the big game.
And Lewin had a good block to spring him. Here's Williams straight ahead, and tougher sledding this time, couple yards up to the 45-yard line. Tim Hassan on the play that time.
Well, you can best believe Coach Anderson has a sense of urgency lit under these guys right now after that drive, offensively saying we got to put this together. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Execute, and we should be able to score.
They can strike quickly with Williams in a lot of ways. Keaton's going to put it up this time. Short drop, spots Jacobs. That's a first down grab to the UNLV 45-yard line. Pickup of 10 and a first down. Jacobs trying to bounce back from those 2 costly penalties.
And that's a play right there, Chucky Keaton looking at the blitz coming. And that play was so effective because he read the blitz, knew who the hot read was, which was Chuck Jacobs, got the ball out for the conversion on the first down.
Taj Hassan, the half-brother of Tim Hassan, the strong safety on the tackle, but it's a first down at the 45. Pitch this time to Williams, cuts it back, and puts his head down, and they'll mark him down after a short gain to the 43. With the exception of that 18-yard run, this is how it's looked like most of the half. They haven't been able to get much in the run game.
Well, what's been happening is UNLV is forcing them to go sideways and not go north and south. Anytime you can take a very fast back and make them go sideways, you negate a lot of things that they can do.
48 yards on the ground thus far for Utah State as we approach the 9-minute mark here in the second quarter. Keaton, pressure coming, steps up, and he finds the tight end, Bartlett, for the second time. And he's close to a first down at the 35-yard line.
Chucky Keaton again. Play was effective because he saw the blitz coming. And when he saw the blitz coming, watch him read it, step up, make a good play, get the ball out to his tight end, Bartlett, for that conversion on the first down. That's exactly why Chucky Keaton is playing so much better this year, reading the blitzes. Bartlett,
a big target at 6'2" and 248. Tialavea has a catch from that tight end spot as well. Running left, it's Williams trying to stretch it to the outside. They can't catch his speed. He's inside the 30 and close to another first down. 9-yard pickup to the 26. Taj Hassan on the tackle. If you don't catch him quickly and he gets to the outside, forget about it.
That's the thing about it. The other plays you mentioned, what it kind of looked like, they got him going sideways just a little bit, and then he came upfield, they're able to stop. Right here, you get him in open space, he's going to beat a linebacker every time, and that's exactly what he did. He has world-class sprinter speed. You get him out of space, he can do some damage.
9 carries, 45 yards for the senior from Las Vegas. Was not recruited by UNLV. Second and short. Keaton underneath, catch by Williams, tough grab to make, and he hangs on, and that's good enough for the first down as Tani Maka puts a pop on him.
And that's the thing about Kerwin Williams. He is, just like all the backs that they've had here, he's two-dimensional. He's not just a runner. He has great hands, can catch the ball out of the backfield, and you see as with some of these formation sets, they flex him out to put him in those mismatches against the linebackers.
We'll get a breather now. Robert Marshall, junior from Dallas, in at that running back position. Hill is in the backfield as well, offset. Play fake for Keaton, looking to the end zone. It's Hill. He's got it. And they'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. Joe Hill from his running back spot, sprinting down the sideline, and Keaton finds him.
They set that up. Joe Hill was playing the fullback position as Chucky did the play fake to Robert Marshall. The two receivers ran post routes, pulling the safety inward, allowing the linebacker to have to cover Joe Hill one-on-one on that wheel route, and that's why he got that big gain.
Hill had a big touchdown catch, first of his career against Utah in their big win here. Play action again. Keaton for the corner. Touchdown Aggies. And it's Tialavea.
Nice play calling. Look at Chucky Keaton here on the play action. Set the defense up. Tialavea gets that back corner, and look at that throw by Chucky, putting it to where only his guy can catch it. That's why Coach Anderson is so excited about what he's been doing this season. They really feel they should be 4-0 because of that game of Wisconsin. The way Chucky's been playing, they could have been.
Tialavea had a touchdown last year against Wyoming, second of his career. He didn't have a catch coming into this game. As they line up for the extra point here, they're going to review that last play. That catch by DJ Tialavea was the junior in bounds when he hauled it in. He's easy to spot at 6'4", 260.
Sure is. You're going to see right there, Chucky rolls out. Tialavea's wide open. Zips the ball in there. Makes the catch. Knee touches the ground. Then he goes out of bounds. So you need, in college, 1 foot, 1 knee. And in the pros, 1 knee is equal to 2 feet. It's a touchdown.
And a quick decision. Had possession all the way through. Touchdown stands. And it's 9-7. They use their tight ends in so many different ways out of this spread formation. And Bartlett's been the big story, but Tialavea, normally a guy that's a blocking back, you got to account for him as well.
And that's what's nice about when you have receivers that can catch the ball, but they're big and they block. Defenses tend to forget about them. You can sneak them out for a touchdown to the backside of the end zone.
Thompson, and he stays perfect on extra points this season, 9 out of 9 in that category. 7:24 to go, second quarter in Logan. DJ Tialavea, the junior from West Jordan, Utah, celebrating on homecoming. His team back in front. The play action pass has been a big story for both teams. Utah State in front, play fake, and the toss to Tialavea for the go-ahead score. UNLV, same story. The run setting up the pass, and Max Johnson capping off that last drive. Sherry did a nice job.
Yeah, you look at Sherry spread this ball around. That was a big play right there, getting Devontae Davis on that third-down blitz. And right here, the play action, again, getting the defense sucked up, and Matele getting behind that. And then right here in this situation, Max Johnson, because of the way they run the ball, being able to do the play action, suck the defense in, and get the touchdown.
Aggies with the lead now, and the home crowd behind him here at homecoming. Ventrude's kick. Fielded and across the 15-yard line. Eric Johnson shut down. Nice play made by Jake Dowdy, the junior from Draper, Utah, on special teams. They have a lot of their stars playing on special teams. It's very important to Gary Anderson.
Well, and I think when you're trying to establish a program, you want to continue to make sure you have your best players on the field at all times. And I think it's important to set a precedent so when all the young kids come in, they understand I'm not just a skilled person. I just don't catch balls. I just don't run the ball. I just don't play safety or linebacker. I also come in there in special teams. And that helps you if you plan on playing the next level, because you will have to play special teams.
Gary Anderson thought he'd have a challenge here. He was concerned about the running backs. Best tandem we'll face all year in Cornett and Randall. Sherry's going to put it in the air on first down to the sideline, and out of bounds is Devontae Davis. 2nd and 10 coming up. Davis was over there. Will on the coverage.
And that's one of those situations. Will Davis squeezing up against that sideline, trying to make that play. Be careful. If you take a chance to go up front, we just saw Marcus Sullivan take to the house. As a DB, never cut in front unless you know you're going to make the play. If you don't, they catch it, that will be 6.
Sherry very poised for a redshirt freshman in a hostile environment. Seems to be in control here. Hands it off to Cornett. trying to get to the outside, nothing doing. Swarming to the ball, Utah State, as they had a whole host of guys there. That's the thing Gary Anderson has loved. He said they've been solid all the way through. They're unselfish, and they get bodies to the football.
And as you can see right there, that old saying, 11 men to the ball, that is not more prevalent than when you look at what happens here. This almost gets tackled, able to dance back. Tim Cornette showing you his elusive feet, but because of that pressure of that Utah State defense, he was not able to turn it into more. Now Utah State has it where they want them, 3rd and long.
And this is where they're tough. They get a lot of sacks on creepers, simulated pressure, and you see guys staging like they might be coming on the line of scrimmage, and now backing off. And here they come again. In trouble, Sherry. Down he goes at the 12. Vili Moyatu, his 2nd sack of the season, and they just bring so many different looks in that blitz package.
Well, you got a young quarterback, so what do? You come up and show the blitz. You're still bringing the blitz, but you're not going to show him where the pressure is coming. And it was effective because he couldn't see it. You're going to see right there, Bojay continues through, gets through 2 offensive linemen, Rogers and Zeisman, and makes that play. And the smart play by Sherry, not trying to force it, put it away, take the sack.
Terrell Thompson also providing pressure as Lansford gets the kick away near his goal line. Kicks it away from Cameron Webb, out of bounds. Let's see where they mark this one. Side judge coming up the field, and excellent field position for the Aggies. Near midfield, right at the midfield stripe. So half a field to work with, and Lansford does not like the spot.
He's like, why are you still walking? You're supposed to stop back there, not up here. And that's one of those situations. It's always hard to tell where the ball crossed the line. I'm always in awe with the referees when they somehow try to figure that out, because I couldn't tell you. It looked like to me that ball went out on the 40.
So the Aggies with a golden opportunity with 5:35 to go before the break. They went 9 plays, 75 yards for the go-ahead score. Now they've got it back. Keaton, 12 of 18 through the air, and incomplete on that one. Intended for Jacobs near the line of scrimmage.
Got too excited right there. They're going to do a quick little bubble screen to the receiver. Thought they had the numbers, but Chucky just didn't get the ball to the right spot. This defense is very fast. You don't have very much time to make an errant throw.
2nd and 10 now. Trips to the right side this time for the Aggies. Sophomore from Houston, Texas. An all-conference candidate this year. He'll send Williams in motion to the bottom of the screen. Keaton over the middle. Jacobs has it. First down inside the 20. Breaks the tackle. Touchdown, Utah State.
You're seeing the maturation of Chucky. That play was very successful because what he did, he set the motion, he sent Kerwin Whelan out, and when he did that, that spread the safety out, allowed him to get that ball to Chuck Jacobs, and Chuck Jacobs did the rest.
The fastest wide receiver on this Aggies team, a game changer. He's quick in space, and he broke a tackle as well on that one. And Thompson's extra point, and it's 17-7. Keaton to Jacobs for the score.
Right there you see Chucky does all he can, stretches that safety out, creates a seam. Chuck Jacobs does the rest, making up for those penalties. You can see right there when he goes no back, that tells Chucky where to go with the ball automatically. He wastes no time, zips it in there, and that's the kind of play Coach Anderson talks about, that Chucky is showing that he is a maturation growth process from last year to this year. And he says the sky's the limit. If this kid continues to do this kind of stuff, this team can definitely continue to play in bowl games.
Chuck Jacobs, a career-long 50-yard touchdown grab. And, you know, the personal foul penalties really took the air out of the balloon on a couple drives. They appear to have the mindset right now. Coach Anderson got on him a little bit.
He sure did it. You got to be smart. He knows about this team. They play very tough, like you pointed out, we talked about. They've lost close games. They're a solid defense, and they play great offense. You cannot spot them the ball in certain places by penalties.
Johnson has a chance to return this Bentrude kick. He's across the 10, weaves around and dropped. Vigil was in there. Another of their stars on defense, starring on special teams, and a big field in front of the Rebels. They'll start at their 11-yard line.
That's one of those situations, a returner, if you're ever going backwards, do not try to come out. You've taken all of your momentum. And when you go backwards to catch the ball and then try to start to go forward, this is the result's going to happen. You give the kickoff team opportunity to come catch you.
Gary Anderson's D has been sensational. They haven't forced a lot of turnovers this season, but have been very stingy in most phases of the game as UNLV tries to run it. And there's one of those phases, rush defense, as Lapa'ua was in there. Dowdy as well. 2 yards and that's it.
Right now this defense is playing on fire, got some energy going. Offense puts quick points on the board. This crowd is getting behind it, so UNLV has to be smart here. Stick with your game plan. Continue to chip away. Get yourself in third management.
Cornett stays in after that 2-yard carry, gets his number called again, trying to get to the near side and nothing doing. Fili Moiatu in there. Dowdy as well. Vigil, most of the linebacking crew. And those are the guys that they want to make the plays in this scheme, this 3-4 alignment.
Coach Anderson went to this 3-4 scheme about 3 years ago because he had more athletic linebackers and D linemen, and he had to figure out the best way to get the best players on the field. It creates issues for offenses because you don't normally see it. Luckily for Las Vegas, they went against this 3-4 defense the past 3 weeks in a row.
3rd and 8. Pressure coming. Sherry picked off. Nope, dropped by Will Davis. He jumped the route in front of Devontae Davis, almost had one.
Will Davis did what a DB should do. He reads the quick slant, beats the receiver to the spot, gets his hands on the ball, and almost comes away with that interception. Devontae Davis had to turn himself into a DB. Good play by Will Davis.
They've been picking on Will, but he stepped up that time, and now the Aggies with plenty of time to work with, and they should get excellent field position out of this. Lansford, preseason All-Mountain West Conference, from his 2-yard line, he gets away a beauty. Webb calling for a fair catch, and he makes it at the 39-yard line. Nice job by Lansford getting him out of some trouble. Still excellent field position for the Aggies. They'll have it at the 39.
Well, these punters love this high altitude. It really allows their ball to sail, get some great hang time. They're extension of the defense. You want to try to pin that offense back as far as possible, and that's exactly what he did. Gave himself some breathing room. Now this defense for UNLV has to figure out a way to see if they can force a 3-and-out, try to give their offense a short field before the half.
48-yard punt. Bobby Houck's D played well early. Utah State finding some chinks in the armor here in the second quarter. Keaton, 13 of 20, 173 yards. They'll keep it on the ground with Williams running to the left side and up to the 44-yard line, close to 5 yards there. Lotulelei on the tackle.
I am so impressed with Lotulelei. This kid, him and Maka and Hansen, they fly to the ball. Just when you think there's a seam there, they're closing it.
He had 14 tackles in their win against Air Force. Keaton on 2nd and 5. Steps up, going to scramble, and they read it well. Good play made by guess who? John Lotulelei again. He drops him right at the line of scrimmage.
Lotulelei, not only did he make that play, he looked back, he pointed, he's coming back on Kerwin Williams as he's doing a route, and then reacts and comes back to Chucky Keaton. Unbelievable play. The speed of these guys is phenomenal.
He's their leading tackler. He's 3rd in the Mountain West, averages almost 9 tackles per game. 2 years at Merced Junior College, was with the Rebels last year. Play action now for Keaton on 3rd down. Throws on the run. Austin can't come up with it at the UNLV 42-yard line. Coverage applied by Hodge on that one.
That's a win for the defense. They set it up in such a way that Chucky had to make a tough throw. That's a situation where I would have liked to see Chucky run the ball, but he still made the right throw. It just wasn't defense played good enough to where it wasn't a big enough window for him to get it into. Defense did their job, forced a 3 and out, see if they can get some good field position, see if the young quarterback, Nick, can come out and do something.
Here's Tyler Bennett. He's already pinned him inside the 10 once, kicks this one away from Sullivan, takes an Aggies hop sideways, and it'll be down at the 16-yard line as Jake Dowdy gets down there to down the football. 2:25 to go, and this an important drive here for UNLV. If they can somehow get points out of this, they feel good about going into halftime down by just 1 score.
They have to, because when you look at how much time there's 2:25, even a field goal to put yourself within striking distance to be 7 down. You have to have something beneficial, because the first part of this game, you're trading blows, you're running the ball, you're moving down the field. All of a sudden, you just got hit with a flurry. Now you have to respond.
Sherry, the redshirt freshman, will start this series from the 17. Wants to put it up, and it's over the middle, and the catch made by Sullivan. Tackled immediately, and that's going to be a face mask, it appears, on Will Davis, coming over trying to make that tackle.
They got a little battle going on now between Will Davis and Devontae Davis. I don't think they're related, but they're definitely going after each other.
Face mask. Defense, number 17. 15 yards to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Well, that'll help out the Rebels drive. They'll move it up to the 37.
He's trying to break up on a curl route. Good play action. Drive. You see him driving, going for the ball. Because he missed it right there, that right hand coming across the face mask. It's not intentional in those kind of situations. He's going for the ball, and it's just your momentum takes you that way. So that costly penalty, though, right now in the 2-minute situation.
They're actually going to mark it at the 39, so first down from there. Sherry downfield to the sideline, and it's a first down grab. Bumped out of bounds is Devontae Davis. And still plenty of time to work with.
Yep, and I want you to watch this. They did the exact same rollout motion, but instead of Devontae Davis doing a curl, they did an out. So watch the variation of this, because this is how they scored that touchdown. They kept doing the rollout to this left side, pulling the defense up. They did a post corner behind them by Matelele, and that's how they were able to get themselves down there for that first touchdown.
Sherry 9 of 15 now, 107 yards and the touchdown strike to Johnson, the fullback. Play action again, setting up the screen in the flat, and a short gain that time. As it was read well, Marcus Sullivan to the 44 for 3 yards. Nevin Lawson on the tackle.
And that's what's really hard on Nick Sherry for any quarterback, to throw that ball back across your body when you're a right-handed quarterback going back to your left, or a left-handed quarterback going back to your right. Those are tough throws to throw in timing, because you got a receiver going away from you.
Nevin Lawson shaken up after making that tackle, trying to walk it off out of bounds on the far side. Rebels have all 3 timeouts remaining, and 1:41 to work with. Bradley Randall in the backfield. The delayed handoff to Randall, pushing the pile forward inside the 40, down to the 37. Who says little guys don't have power? How about that drive from Bradley Randall?
This is a kid that has big heart. He doesn't mind that he's only 5'7", 190 pounds. But you're seeing the power. When you get a little back like that, the defense sometimes can't see him. He gets underneath. He continues to drive those legs.
They're 4 of 8 on third downs. This is 3rd and a yard from the Aggies' 33. Double tight ends. Randall going to the other side of the field. First down to the 30. The misdirection play works well to the 27.
He had great vision on that cutback. When you look at what he saw, he sees there's nobody on the outside, and makes a great move to get outside for that first down, using his speed this time instead of power.
Now the Aggies showing blitz here from the gun. Sherry overshoots Williams. Not on the same page there, and that's that, what is that, the red route there? You know the blitz is coming?
That was definitely a red route, and they were trying to do an out and up, but the receiver right there, Herring, didn't read it correctly, And so he wasn't running. He didn't expect the ball, and that's why that happened like that. I should say that was Williams.
2nd and 10 now. Bobby Houck's team has been very good in the 3rd quarter. He's hoping that continues. Right now, trying to draw a little bit closer before halftime. Sherry setting up the screen. There's Williams at the 25 and upended near the 20-yard line by Zach Vigil, and here comes another late penalty flag.
Offensive lineman, you cannot come in there and try to clean the pile in this kind of situation. Right there, Zach Vigil makes a good tackle. Now the play is over right there. Not needed, absolutely not needed. Doug Zeisman has to do a better job of knowing the play is over.
This 300-pound senior guard from Phoenix really hurting his team here. The ball's at the 20-yard line. They'll back him up.
After the play, personal foul, offense, number 64.
Yeah, Doug Zeisman.
10-yard.
So now you're out of field goal range as well. They'll move the football back to the 35. Really a costly penalty. We've seen 3 or 4 of those, in this first half.
Right.
From both teams.
Well, and exactly. Utah State was driving to score, and then they got the penalty, which hurt them and put them out of situation. And here is UNLV in the same type of situation. They're driving to put points on the board, and then they get a costly penalty at the wrong time. And that's the thing about it. Penalties are bad enough as is, but when they happen during drives that you're in position to score, they're even more costly.
They will use one of their 3 timeouts right here with 38 seconds to go. But now, instead of having the ball on the 20 in the red zone, you're looking at a 3rd down and 18 from the 35. And now you're thinking, from the Bobby Houck standpoint, let's get something out of this and at least get our kicker set up.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. That's what they're talking about. Nothing costly. Let's put ourselves in a good position. Try to get enough yardage to get the field goal attempt.
From the 35, 2 receivers to each side after the timeout. Aggies with that simulated blitz. They back off guys now, and they bring Thompson. Flag is thrown. Sherry delivers the football. It's picked off by Alston at the 20 as he steps out of bounds. There's a flag as well.
Sherry would love to have that back. There was what they call a dime blitz. The nickel and the dime came from both sides after the quarterback. The inside guys dropped out. He didn't read it and see it, and as he got tackled.
Illegal formation. Number 72 in the backfield. That penalty is declined.
The Aggies going to have it. The interception stands for Terrence Alston.
So as he saw that, the pressure's coming, he gets the ball away, and that's just a nice interception by Terrence Alston, just sitting back in the zone, knowing they had to go as far as they did. As a corner, keep everything in front of you, and that's exactly what happened.
So a costly penalty, bumping them out of field goal range, and then the interception, and the drive fizzles right before halftime here.
Now, this is a big kid. They pointed him out. Ron Scoggins got that. Here's a kid, true freshman, 6'2", 335 pounds, and has been playing very effective for him since he got in the starting lineup.
So the Aggies have the football with limited time to work with. Let's see if they play it close to the vest here from the 18. Keaton is looking downfield, goes underneath with it. Catch is made by Travis Reynolds, and Reynolds has a first down up to the 32, and the clock will stop after they pick up the first down. Timeout called by Gary Anderson. And they have 2 timeouts left now.
Wow, Reynolds took a serious blow from Lota Lele. He came in there and hit him. I thought they both were going to have concussions on that, the way that looked. The fact that he was able to hold on to the ball is huge. Watch Lota Lele at the top of your screen from left to right as he catches that ball. Now watch, he's cutting back. Here comes Lota Lele. Right into him.
Oh.
I mean, that is trying to knock him out in those situations. He came in with reckless abandon right there. And the fact that both of them are still walking, that's huge.
Yeah, Reynolds appears to still have his faculties amazingly after that hit. And now you've got the ball at the 33 with 21 seconds and 2 timeouts. It appears they want to take a shot or 2 down the field here.
Well, might as well work on your 2 men in this type of situation.
4 receiver look for Chucky and the Aggies. Sophomore has some time. Open on the sideline, Williams. 40. 30. And Williams out of bounds at the 21 with 10 seconds to go. They're in field goal range, and they're set up for some more points here right before the break.
What a play call by Matt Wells, offensive coordinator. Get Kerwin Williams out in space. Like I said, this guy has so much speed. Get him out in space. When he's in space, linebackers stand no chance. Watch him. He does a flare route from the top right there, and Chucky just buys him enough time to get in that open space, and look what he does. In college football, the first down would automatically stop the clock, but he did a little more there.
45 yards on the pickup. Keaton to the air. It's Reynolds at the 15. He cannot get out of bounds. They've got a timeout to burn, and they use it. With 2 seconds, timeout called by Gary Anderson. And they're going to bring the place-kicking team out there.
And it's a good thing he went down. They should have talked about that better. You only had 10 seconds, and I can see in his mind, he's like, I got to get out of bounds, but there's nobody in front of me. So you want to take that kind of situation out of the hand of the player as a coach and say, if you catch the ball, get out of bounds right away so that we can kick the field goal, because you won't have a chance of scoring. That's one of those situations. Anderson is upset. He's like, what are you trying to do? But you have to talk that out.
You know, quietly, Jay, we talk about both teams wanting to run the football. Chucky Keaton has thrown for 242 yards here in the first half.
You got to take what the defense gives you. Both these defenses played very stout against the run. So what do you have to do? You have to go to the pass.
Williams has 6 of the catches for 73 yards as they set up Josh Thompson. He's connected from 32. This one from 31 to end the half. And he nails it. Big drive as the second quarter ends for Utah State. Keaton to Williams, 45 yards to get him into range. And Thompson caps it off with his second field goal of the game. 20-7 at halftime as it goes 69 yards in 31 seconds.
Good drive. You think about this drive. That's just like what happened in the Wisconsin game. They needed a drive. Chucky let them down. They just missed the field goal. So this is huge for this team to have the similar type of situation, to be able to drive down the field and to capitalize it on this situation.
It was 7-3 Rebels at the start of the second quarter, but Utah State dominating the rest of the way. The Aggies trying to move their record to 40 to 4-1. They lead by 13 at the break.